Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer. You know, I'm reminded of something that my great-grandfather Abraham once told me. Your first day as a vampire hunter is very easy. Your first night, not so much. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at legendary Marvel Midnight Suns from Upper Deck. We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review. Midnight Suns is the latest expansion to your legendary Marvel deck-building game. Here you take on some of the creatures of the night, vampires, werewolves, all those kooky heroes from the Marvel horror comics as they attempt to take on some truly creepy bad guys. Now, first of all, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the new keywords in this set. For instance, you have Blood Frenzy. Now, Blood Frenzy essentially says that you go ahead and you get a +1 attack value for each different numbered, different valued victory point in your victory pile. So for every different number you have in there, you get +1 attack. Now, some of the villains can come out. They too have Blood Frenzy, and they get the same thing for every victory card difference, value difference in your victory pile. Now you also have Hunt for Victims. Hunt for Victims says you need to KO any bystander that is being taken over by any villain in the city or by the mastermind or that is in the escape pile. Now if you don't have any that are there, it simply will take a bystander itself. Now you also have Haunt. Now, Haunt is usually attached with one of the heroes in the HQ. Essentially, the card comes out, it says Ambush Haunt. You take that card and you place it under a specific hero in the HQ. You place it under that hero. Now, what that means is that hero is essentially being haunted. You cannot recruit that hero until you spend attack equal to that hero's cost to kind of exorcise that villain, which then goes back into the city you ignore, then its ambush ability that time. But then after that, you can recruit the hero as normal. Now, like the New Mutants, this set also has the concept of Moonlight and Sunlight. Now, what that means is if ever the cards in the HQ if the majority of them are odd numbered, that represents moonlight. If they are even numbered, that represents sunlight. So some of your cards may say moonlight or sunlight, something triggers, they get some certain ability. You've also got the patrol ability. We first saw this in Secret Wars Volume 2. Essentially, the patrol ability says you can patrol a certain area in the city, the rooftops, the sewers, etc. And if there's no card there, you can get a special ability. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the various schemes that come with this set, and we're going to start with Wager at Blackjack for Heroes' Souls. Setup, 11 twists, add 2 extra heroes. Twist, reveal cards from the hero deck, adding up to their total cost, until you choose to stop or your total exceeds 21. If your total exceeds 21, you bust and the mastermind wins the wager. If you didn't bust, then you do the same thing for the mastermind, stopping as soon as their total is at least 17. If their total exceeds 21, then they bust and you win the wager. If no one busts, then you win the wager if your total is higher. If the mastermind's total is equal or higher, they win. If you win, you may gain one of the revealed heroes that costs 6 or less. If the mastermind wins, stack one of the revealed heroes next to the scheme as a wagered soul. Either way, put the rest of the revealed heroes on the bottom of the hero deck in random order. Evil wins when there are 4 wagered souls. Next up, we've got Sire Vampires at the Blood Bank. Setup, 10 twists. Add an extra henchman group of 10 cards as vampire neonates. Put this scheme above the bank to mark it as the Blood Bank. Special rules. All vampire neonates also have Blood Frenzy. While in the Blood Bank, they instead have double Blood Frenzy. Twist. If there is a villain in the Blood Bank, stack a card from the bystander deck next to the scheme as a vampire thrall. Otherwise, move a villain from any city space to the Blood Bank. Either way, play another card from the villain deck. Evil wins when there are 5 vampire thralls or the villain deck runs out. Next, we've got Ritual Sacrifice to summon Chthon. Setup: 6 twists, plus 1 per player. Add Lilith as an extra villain group. If using Lilith, use 1 twist total and still use an extra villain group. Twist 1 through 4, a villain or mastermind hunts for victims. Twist 5 through 11, the mastermind hunts for victims. Special rules: when 5 bystanders are in the KO pile, shuffle all twists from the KO pile back into the villain deck. Then this scheme transforms into Great Old One Shiften. Flip it over. Then KO all their masterminds and the remaining tactics. The Great Old One Shiften mastermind transformed. Master Strike or Twist. Destroy the current player. Shuffle this strike or twist back into the villain deck. Shiften wins when all players are destroyed. There's Midnight Massacre. Setup: 11 twists. Add all 14 cards for any Blade hero to the villain deck. Special rules: Blade hero cards in the villain deck and city are demonically possessed Switchblade villains with attack equal to their printed cost. Their only abilities are Sunlight. To fight this, you must also spend 3 recruit. Moonlight, Blood Frenzy. Fight. Either KO this card or choose a player to gain it as a hero. Twist: for each Switchblade villain in the city and or escape pile, KO the top 3 cards of the hero deck. No matter how many there were, play another card from the villain deck. Evil wins when the hero or the villain deck runs out. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the heroes. You've got Blade, you've got Wong, you've got Elsa Bloodstone, you've got Werewolf by Night, and you've got the star of the breakout hit film, Morbius. Blade's most powerful card is Creature of Dawn and Dusk. It's a 7-cost card with a variable for attack. It reads, Sunlight. You get +2 attack, and you may put a hero from the HQ on the bottom of the hero deck. Moonlight, Blood Frenzy. Elsa Bloodstone's most powerful card is Vengeance of the Bloodstone Gem. It's a +8 card with 0 variable recruit and 4 variable attack. It reads, patrol any city space. If it's empty, you get the printed recruit and attack value of the hero in the HQ space under that city space. If you've also got 2 other Marvel Knights cards in play, you get Blood Frenzy. Wong's most powerful card is Face Your Demons. It's a cost 8 card with a variable 6+ attack. Once this turn, you may fight the top card of the bystander deck as if it were a 4-attack Darkhold Demon villain with Fight. KO up to 2 of your heroes. Rescue this card as a bystander. Sunlight, you get +2 attack. Werewolf by Night's most powerful card is Track the Captives. This is a cost 7 card with a variable 5+ attack. It reads, Moonlight. Whenever you defeat a villain or mastermind this turn, you may rescue a bystander or gain a hero from the HQ or sidekick deck whose cost is less than that of the enemy's attack. It triggers off of another instinct and reads, you get +2 attack. And finally, there's Morbius, whose powerful card is, It's Morbius Time! This is a 7-cost card with a 3 attack. It triggers off of a covert card, and it reads Blood Frenzy, drawing that many cards instead of gaining attack. You've got 2 new villain groups with this set. First of all, you have the Fallen, and you have the Lilith. You've got 2 new masterminds. You've got Zarathos, and you've got Lilith, Mother of Demons. So that is basically what you get with this new set of Midnight Suns. Now, this game, this expansion here, it's pretty fun. I played it just the other night, and it's really, it's got some good stuff in it. Particularly, to me, this is a game that succeeds. The cards are all great, but what really makes it succeed are some of these keywords. Well, first of all, I really like the Sunlight, Moonlight that we've seen before. That was fun. But one of the things I really like here is the Blood Frenzy. Blood Frenzy is awesome because it's another way to make you more powerful or your enemies more powerful, depending on how many enemies you've already defeated. So that's pretty cool. The Hunt is pretty cool with going after the bystanders, but the Haunt, I really like the Haunt. It was a great way because you can start to see some of the cards in your HQ filling up with these haunts. You've got to go after the haunts. You've got to spend attack to go after the haunts. And then you don't get them. They just go back up to the city. So it's a very clever system. I really like the way the haunts work in this one quite a bit. And it's cool because you've got this kind of overarching supernatural theme, this kind of the Marvel horror comics, and that it just works very well within that context. So I really like that a lot. The heroes you've got in this one, they're good because they play off of those keywords, and I like that, and it's fun. It's fun seeing Blade out there again. Haven't seen him in a while. And then, of course, Morbius is kind of fun to have out there. But they're all fun hero cards. The villain cards and the masterminds are good. The schemes, I'll tell you right now, the Blackjack one is one of my favorite schemes of all time. I really like the Blackjack one because it's so cool where you're like literally playing a game of blackjack. Within this game, there's this meta game, this mini game, where you're playing blackjack, and it's so I want to keep going. It's a push your luck thing, and it was really a lot of fun. I like that a bit. The one where was it Chthon comes out? Boy, that I don't know how you win that one. That one's like super tough. That's crazy. But generally speaking, great package, a lot of fun. Probably middle to upper tier for this one. I wouldn't put this in the front rank of Legendary expansions, but probably in that secondary rank, which is still pretty good, which I still like a lot. Fun expansion, really enjoy it, and I particularly like the theme. I like the horror theme with vampires and werewolves and stuff. I found that absolutely delightful. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to recommend it. If you're looking for another Marvel Legendary expansion, one this time that's maybe kind of a little darker, supernatural, I think you're going to get a kick out of this one. Recommendation for the Discriminating Gamer for Midnight Suns is buy it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We'd ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to please check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson PhD, where we talk about military history, books on history, fun things like that. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. That would mean a lot to me. And I'd ask you to please give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. That also helps us out a lot as well. If you really like the channel, you like what we do here, I'd ask you to go ahead and please click on the Super Thanks button here on the YouTube page and leave a contribution. Again, we really appreciate it. You know, ladies and gentlemen, a vampire that is bad at his job is a hackula, while a vampire that is great at his job is spectacular.
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
No, I kill more people than anybody else.